Back in the 1930s, this was a popular American sandwich, though usually very poorly made, like a grilled cheese sandwich, instead of being battered and deep fried as it should be. If you're from the American East Coast, you'll probably swear that the origin of this sandwich was the Wrigley Building in Chicago. If you're from the West Coast, you'll probably know it from Disneyland, where it dates back to the 1950s. If you've ever attempted to make this Blue Bayou Monte Cristo yourself, you're probably disappointed by the results. The secret is the batter, and just so happens to be the exact same batter that I showed in another recipe recently.
This begins by getting a glass jar with a lid on it and combining all of your dry ingredients, because then after you weigh them out you can shake it up and you can distribute it equally. I've got flour, potato starch, rice flour, salt, and baking powder. Don't let the Russian packaging fool you. Make sure that you mix this well. Roll it, invert it. You want an absolutely homogeneous mixture of this powder. Now here's something you've probably never seen before. I've got a 30-gram piece, 1 ounce, of very cooked potato. It's very soft, and I'm going to just mash this first with the back of a fork just to get it started here. To this, I'm going to add 2 egg whites. These have been left out at room temperature for a couple hours, so they're completely at room temperature. Now we're going to beat these together. This is stiff peaks. See that? This is the stage that we want. The potato will help stabilize it. This will go in the refrigerator until we're ready to mix the batter. I have weighed out 45 grams, 1.5 ounces from this powdered mixture, and now I'm going to add the same amount of sparkling water to this. Weigh it carefully. Okay. Now I'll whisk this together briefly. Okay, I've whisked it enough that there's no powder remaining. We've got this. Now we're going to weigh out 30 grams of this mixture. Okay, there it is. And now we fold this together gently. We don't want to make it just stir it around. Just pick it up and fold it until it's incorporated. Now this is our batter. This is a perfect opportunity to use up some of that extra onion marmalade or onion jam that we created in the previous recipe here. And sandwich is not going to contain mustard or mayonnaise in it. This spread down. I've got 2 pieces of Jarlsberg Swiss cheese, and I'm going to use this. I cut it to fit the bread, approximately fit the bread, because we don't want a lot of overlap here. It'll melt and destroy the oil and make a big mess. Now I've got some deli type turkey. You can also use ham. You want quite a bit of meat in this. You don't want to make it stingy. And we're going to fold it together. And it's best to use bread that's slightly stale. This bread's been in the refrigerator, but I think it's about 3 days old. The refrigerator makes it last a little bit longer. And then you're going to use some picks like this at an angle to hold it in place. What I did here is I set up the toothpicks so that it will not go all the way down. This is a support mechanism in here, and because I didn't make tons and tons of batter, if I had a whole pile of these sandwiches to make, then I would have used more batter, but because I have so little batter for one sandwich, I'm going to actually have to kind of help it out a little bit here, coat it around the edges and the sides and everything using a spoon, but that's okay. It'll work out just fine, as you'll see in just a minute here. And the oil temperature here is 170 degrees. turn it over a few times during the cooking process, and then take it out, drain it on paper towel, let it cool down before you remove these toothpicks. And skewers, really, they're skewers. And then, as strange as this may seem, you load up a sieve with powdered sugar, and you go over the top of it. Now we're ready to plate. Also look for my cocktail book, Cocktails of the South Pacific and Beyond, Advanced Mixology, available through Amazon online.